Mike McDaniel, by the way, has his Monday press conference starting in about 10 minutes. Will Manso is there. He's going to join us in the 3 o'clock hour to talk about what he observes at the press conference today. John Michaels is going to join us, talk some Canes. We could talk Dolphins with him as well. When I had texted Will this morning, I was like, hey, you want to come on around 2:30 this afternoon? He said, well, McDaniel starts at 2:15. I don't know if he'll be done by 2:30. And I said, oh, he hasn't finished his opening salvo of ums and ers and by 3 p.m. at the earliest. So, yeah, he's in Will was in Tallahassee. I mean, talk about running the gamut. Like, he was in Tallahassee, and he's a Cane. Watch what happened Saturday night. And now, 10 minutes from now, he is going to watch Mike McDaniel walk to that podium and start with the nonsense. You know, I watched John Harbaugh last night after the Ravens got the snot kicked out of them. That was my big play over the weekend, too. I loved the Texans -1.5. And John Harbaugh, it was like, yeah, we got beat every facet of the game. We're going to have to get this right. But it was like concise answers. I'm not saying that it would have satisfied me if I'm a Ravens fan, because I'm not a Ravens fan. And I know there's a little bit of heat percolating around John Harbaugh right now as well, even though Lamar Jackson wasn't there, because they just can't seem to win, which is going to be the same thing with Buffalo, by the way. We talked about McDermott. Like, they have the pieces, can't seem to win. But anyway, I'm watching John Harbaugh after they get their asses kicked. It was like these concise answers. And I'm kind of just contrasting that with what I watched from McDaniel after the loss yesterday. And I just don't understand how he can rally his troops. Like, I watched Harbaugh, and I can see how he would be able to rally the players. And I watch McDaniel, and I just don't see how he, like, if it falls flat on me, and I'm easily swayed, if it falls flat on me, how is it going to work on, big football veteran guy?
And with a lack of leadership on that team. Like, we talked about it. Like, so, and McDaniel's message is around the corner, and he when he says football, he says 11 on 11 football. Like, and he just says all that goofy stuff. You'd have to have guys in the locker room that can come back and be like, hey, y'all, let's do this, let's do that. Is it Zach Sealer? Like, we've talked about this. Tua's not doing it. Tua's not made to be that guy where that's going to get very annoying. It just, and I don't want to say he's Cam Cameron, but Cam Cameron was like that with the goofy, with the everything's positive, guys. Let's look on the brighter side of things. Bitch, we just got beat by 30. Get out of here. Like, it's going to be, yeah.
Don't tell me again that you find out what you're made of. If you like, I don't want to find out anything else. I want to win a game when I'm up that many points against a terrible Carolina team. I just want you to win the game, and so I mean, there's a couple stats just on Twitter, and it was just fans. This is shocking because obviously we know Rico Dowdle had like the game of his career. Solana,
you guys were hating on him. Yeah, you guys were hating on him last week. I told you this guy ran for 1,000 yards last year.
He almost ran for 1,000 yards yesterday. Forget about last year. If he was the everyday back for that team, he'd rush for 7,000 yards. But listen to this from just a fan Twitter. Trevor Etienne, who's not Rico Dowdle, by the way, outrushed the entire Dolphins offense yesterday. He had 4 carries for 22 yards. I mean, you look at some of the numbers, and then you watch Drake May last night go into Buffalo and do what everyone's been waiting for Tua and Mike McDaniel and the entire team to do. And it's an infuriating Monday for Dolphins fans.
And watching that game, the Tua's numbers look great. 3 touchdowns, 256. Yeah. His numbers look good. But watching that game, that wasn't impressive. He had some good throws. We get you up by 17. Y'all let him get back in the game. Well, damn, y'all let them rush for 200 and 260 yards. Watching how they say all three phases on the same page. Nobody's on the same page. They're not playing complementary football, and it's going to get to a point where there's going to start getting some frustration from the opposite sides of that sideline, where it's like, damn, stop somebody, shut up, you go score some more points, and because it looks so terrible, looks so embarrassing. Just watch somebody, and they can't tackle, and they can't cover. What's it with the chickens? Or Solana says the hens come home to roost, but I say the chickens come home to roost. The problems that we saw in the preseason, that game yesterday defensively, you saw it all. You can't leave him in man-to-man because Jack Jones can't cover anybody.
Oh, I was so wrong on Jack Jones. I can't even begin to tell you how wrong I was on Jack Jones. He's terrible.
So he can't cover anybody man-to-man. So you really can't blitz, because if you blitz, you're leaving Jack Jones and Douglas man-to-man. And Douglas is okay, but he's no damn Darrelle Revis. So now you have to stay in zone. You stay in zone, you leave all these big holes open, and we saw even Bryce Young, who's not a Pro Bowler, can find those holes. Oh, yeah, and you have no damn pass rush. So everything we thought we were seeing in the preseason, Anthony Weaver by far is not calling a good game. He's always reactionary. If they run the ball left, he blitz left on the second play. They're not running the same play over again, Mr. Weaver. They're going to run something else because they know what you're about to do, try to stop the play that they just ran. He's trying to stop the last play, but he's limited. He is limited in his play calling because our secondary can't cover man-to-man. It's a conundrum that we're in defensively, and our D tackles are garbage. That's the final, icing on the cake. Our D tackles cannot play football.
Hawk, I don't know what else you want McDaniel to say. I get frustration. I'm as frustrated with McDaniel as well.
It's the way he says it that drives me crazy.
I'm glad Crowder brought up Anthony Weaver because, man, I just want people to stop putting blame on one person. And I'm not saying you're doing that, Hawk, but I'm sitting there yesterday and I'm watching the fourth quarter and I'm saying, we're going to lose this football game. And then Tua scores that touchdown. He finally hits Waddle. I said, wow. Finally, like Tua's signature moment of the season, right? Finally came in week 5. And the Panthers get the ball back. And after the first play, I said, they're going to go down. They're going to score. There's no doubt in my mind. Our defense can't stop anybody. How is it possible that your offense blows a 17-point lead, doesn't get the ball back to Waller, who's been their best target over the past 2 weeks, and then your defense can't stop anybody? It's just total ineptitude on the roster, on the coaching staff, everything. Like I can't believe we're at a point where everything about this team has soured. Everything. Other than the kicking game, of course, with Riley Patterson.
Well, they couldn't even kick that long field goal that they wanted to earlier in the game because they don't trust him to kick deep. So I'm out on Riley Patterson, even though he's batting 1,000. No, here's what I would say, though, to your point about the defense can't stop anything. Then why punt at the end? Now, that's a Mike McDaniel decision. He's supposed to be a gutsy gambler guy. And I know, what was it, 4th and 17, maybe, man. 17?
4th and 17.
If you know, we all watched the same game. If you know that they cannot stop, this is hard to say, the Carolina Panthers offense, why do you give them the ball back? Why? Even though you have 3 timeouts. Because all they need is 1 first down. So why do you give them the ball back? And I understand, 4th and 17, I think I saw that there's a 2% greater chance of getting the ball back or scoring, winning that game if you punt the ball. But, man, if you watch that game, and then the other thing is, if you are going to punt, hey, maybe hustle the punt team out there so you're not lollygagging and the punt's coming, with like a minute left to go. I thought it was a collapse. I thought it was an epic collapse. I'd watched it a season ago with Eberflus and the Bears, and we've watched it with Mario, with the Canes, to be quite honest. There's times where, just at the end of the game, somebody looks like they're outclassed on the sidelines. And I thought Mike McDaniel, I just felt like by the end of that game, he didn't know if he was coming or going. He couldn't believe what he witnessed. Now, it is shocking how they cannot run the ball and shocking how well the other team can run the ball on them. And so I can understand, I guess, at some point, maybe just acknowledging to yourself as a head coach, a coordinator, hey, we don't have the personnel. I can bang my head against the wall all I want. We don't have the personnel. So what's the difference? I punt, I go for it on 4th and 17. What's I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. He watched that errant pass to Jalen Waddle on that final drive where you needed it. So he's probably thinking to himself, 4th and 17, I'm going to get a receiver wide open and Tua is going to overthrow him by a mile. Or, okay, I punt it, but I know what's going to happen. We're going to give up a first down, and there goes any chance of winning the game. And the only way that we won't give up a first down is if we cheat, which is what Jack Jones did. He got flagged for it that time. And
Hawk, the real reason they punted is because McDaniel knows in order for our receivers to run 17 yards down the field, we need at least what, Crowder? 1.5, 2 seconds?
Oh.
You don't have that with Larry Borum and Cole Strange and Patrick
Seven
Paul
yeah.
and Jonah Savaiinaya, who might be the worst player in the NFL right now. The worst player in the NFL.
Certainly the worst at his position. He is the worst at his position.
By
he
far.
made 91. I don't know the guy's name. He looked like Warren Sapp. He just ran around Savaiinaya every time the ball was snapped. We are mashed potatoes putting snack pack on both lines of scrimmages. That's your answer. Why can't we run the ball? Our line is a snack pack. Why can't we stop the run? Our D-line is a snack pack.
Did I love a snack pack when I was a kid? You never had those, did you, Solana?
I had Jell-O, which made like the brand Jell-O made pudding. So
right, but you didn't call them snack pudding. Packs, did you?
No.
We called the little pudding cups. They were snack packs, right? Oh, did I love a snack pack?
Do you love a snack pack as your D tackle?
Not so much.
Did you?
They should all have jerseys waiting for them in their lockers next week that say snack pack on the nameplate.
And oh boy, Dowdle had to have 100 yards after contact. Once he got to the
tackle. They don't tackle.
Look, the linebackers, Minka Fitzpatrick was whiffing. And I know he can play. He's a Pro Bowler.
But
I thought Anthony Weaver was going to have them play violent. Did he say he was going to have them play violin? Did I hear him wrong?
He said he's going to have them play like violets.
Crowder, it has to be scheme, though, right? Look, I'm willing to say Chris Greer whiffed on Kenneth Grant. Like, fine. I don't think it's fair to do that to a rookie 5 games in, but fine, right? Like, we can say should have been taken that high up with Kenneth Grant. Guy can't play. He looks awful. They're relying on another rookie in that spot to play snaps. He doesn't look ready in Jordan Phillips. But how could the defensive line and the linebackers look that bad against the run? It has to be scheme.
No, that doesn't. You give me in that same, whatever that play is called, whatever they call it, base under roll, 7 adjusted. You give me Keith Traylor, Vonnie Holiday, Kevin Carter, JT, me and Zach in the middle, they would not have had 100 yards rushing. I don't care what the scheme was. You whoop somebody's ass in front of you and go make a play. Like, you have as many people as they have. We weren't playing with 10. We were playing with 11 like them, and they have a quarterback. So we actually have an advantage defensively because we don't have a quarterback. They're not there. I promise you, I'm not defending Anthony Weaver. I swear. I watched the game, went back and watched it again, and then watched the highlights this morning. I was traveling. I had nothing better to do. They are not violent. They do not penetrate. There's nobody in the backfield. Jalen Phillips and Chubb can get off the edge, but they don't run off the edge because they're like, okay, let Jalen and Chubb run up. They'll run up the field. We're going to go right in behind their ass, and there's no tackles or linebackers that are going to touch a soul. Oh, yeah, and if they do get over top to make this play, they're going to get a Dowdle knee to the chest. They're going to fall down on the ground with their eyes closed, and he's going to haul ass for 50. It was that – I was a run-stopping guy. You may mess with me about the pass coverage. Yes, I'm not going to stay with the tight end, but about as long as Tua has to throw the ball, about 2 seconds. But stopping the run is something I was good at. It is embarrassing watching them try to play the run game. It's sad.
It was sad. That was sad to watch. Let's do.
Did you see the formation when he was next to the quarterback, but he was like a yard behind him, and you knew they were running the same play there that they just ran to the other side? There was nobody pointing. There was nobody. You don't remember that thing Zach used to do where he started hopping?
They're just going through the motions.
They're looking at their keys. They're in the same formation, but the tight end's on the other side and the running back's on the opposite side, but he's behind the quarterback. You think he's trying to block from behind the quarterback? I was about to cuss. You think he can't do anything from there but run the ball. They're running this football opposite side. The RPO action is exactly what they're doing. Nobody moved that way. Nobody shifted. Nobody's communicating. They're out there they're not playing football. They're on the field trying to figure out what's going on out here, fellas. That was a disgusting display of run defense. It was getting, every time I watched a highlight or a play, it was just like my hair was raising up on the back of my neck. I was like, what the hell are y'all doing?
Which angers me more, hearing you talk about it that way, angers me more that they punted the ball away with 1:20 to go. Said, yeah, we'll stop you this time. All right. We waited now we're going to get violent. Now
figure it out.
We're going to stop you. Headlines are sponsored by Durrell Hyundai, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Durrell Hyundai or DurrellHyundai.com.
All right. Well, everybody calm down. Florida Panthers are back on the ice tomorrow, baby. Let's go.
Talk about it. Let's go.
And the Miami Heat play tonight as well, and we get a round of applause for that.
Talk about it. Let's go.